Hello everyone, in this video we will start with types of LC oscillators. Let's begin. Now there are two types of LC oscillator. The first one is cross-coupled oscillator and second one is Colpitts oscillator. Okay, let us start with cross-coupled oscillators. Now this configuration does not latch up because its low frequency gain is very small, and at resonance, the total phase shift around the loop is zero because each stage contributes zero frequency dependent phase shift. That is, if GM1 RP, GM2 RP is greater than 1, then the loop oscillates. Okay, we can show you in this figure. This is the H1 and this is H2. If they are both are the product of them is like this. That's why they are known as cross coupled. Okay, while the phase shift of both of these H1 and H2 is given like this. Okay, so the total phase shift of H1 into H2 is like this. Okay, it has a sharper rise and fall due to the product of those two stages, and the circuit does not oscillate at other frequencies. Okay, you can see over here because the total phase shift around the loop is zero because each stage contributes zero frequency dependent phase shift. Okay, so it does not oscillate at all if the gain of both of these stages, that is GM1 RP and GM2 RP, is greater than 1, then the loop oscillate. Let us see another type of LC oscillator, that is Colpitts oscillator. In this, an oscillator may be realized with only one transistor in the signal path. Consider the gain stage as shown in this figure and recall that the drain voltage cannot be applied at the gate because the overall phase shift at resonance equals 180 degrees. So you recall that the drain voltage cannot be applied to the gate because the overall phase shift at resonance equals 180 degree rather than 360 degree. Also recall that in a common gate stage, the phase shift from the source to the drain is zero, and then we then summarize that if as shown in this figure that the drain voltage is returned to the source rather than the gate, the circuit may oscillate, and this coupling must incorporate a capacitor to avoid the disturbing the bias point of M1. Okay, and unfortunately, owing to this insufficient loop gain, the circuit of this figure A does not oscillate. Thus, what we have done, we have applied an input current as depicted in this figure P, and neglecting the transistor parasitics, we obtain the closed loop gain as equals to V out upon I in is equals to LPS in parallel with 1 by CPS in parallel with RP. Okay, you can see over here because this M1 and C2 conduct the current to the tank. Okay, since the closed loop gain cannot be equal to infinity at any frequency, the circuit fails to oscillate. Let us see two important points about this particular circuit, or we can say take an example that first, to excite a circuit into oscillation, the stimulus can be applied at different point. That is, we have already considered that the noise of any device in the loop can initiate oscillation. And the second point is that, as shown in this figure V out upon V in is 0 because the impedance connected between the source of M1 and ground is infinity. We then add a capacitor from this node to ground as shown in this figure, seeking condition for of oscillation. Note that the capacitor in parallel with CP is removed. Now this capacitor is removed and one capacitor is added at this node, between this node and ground. Now current through the parallel combination of this LP and RP is given by V out by LPS plus V out by RP, and the total current through C1 is equal to I in minus V out by LPS minus V out by RP. Okay, which will yield that V1 is equals to minus In minus V out LPS minus V out RP, bracket closed, in product with C1 S1 upon C1 S. Now we can write the current through C2 as V out plus V1, this V out plus V1, or we can find from this particular diagram, okay, small again diagram, that the current through this C2 can be written as V out plus V1, this voltage, into C2S. And now we can sum all of the current at the output node. Okay, first one is this current, that is equals to minus Gm V1, putting value of V1 from here to this equation, this current plus this current is given as plus V out plus V1, putting again the value of V1 in this equation into C2S, plus this current V out by LPS plus this current V out by RP equals to 0. And it follows that V out by In is equals to this, that is RP LPS GM plus C2S upon RP C1 C2 LPS cube plus C1 plus C2 in brackets LPS square plus in bracket GMRP plus RP C1 plus C2 bracket closed S plus GMRP. Okay, so this is the gain of this particular circuit. Note that if C1 is 0, if we put C1 0, then this term is 0, this term is 0, this term is 0. What is left? The above equation reduces to LPS in parallel with RP. Okay, LPS in parallel with RP. Okay, so the circuit oscillates if the closed loop transfer function goes to infinity at an imaginary value of S, that is SR is equals to J omega R. Both the real and imaginary part of this denominator must drop to 0 at this frequency. Let us see. Okay, now we can see that this is the denominator of this particular part, equating it to 0, and what we get that minus C1 plus C2 LP omega R whole square plus GMRP, and since with typical values that GM LP is lesser than RP C1 plus C2, the above equation yields omega R square is equals to 1 upon LP C1 C2 upon C1 plus C2, and this particular equation also yield GMRP is equals to C1 plus C2 whole square upon C1 C2. Or we can further solve it and write it like this. And recognize that GMRP is the voltage gain from the source of M1 to the output. Okay, if this body effect is neglected, and we determine that the ratio of C1 upon C2 for the minimum required gain, and the reader can also prove that the minimum occurs for C1 upon C2 equals to 1, which requires that GMRP is greater than equal to 4. Okay, so this is the particular disadvantage of Colpitt's oscillator, which require that a gain of 4 over a cross-coupled oscillator, which require only unity. We have already seen that it requires that GM1 RP into GM2 RP should be greater than equal to 1, where this Colpitt oscillator required that the minimum gain which is required, it should be 4 for a circuit to oscillate. So this is the disadvantage of Colpitt's oscillator over cross-coupled oscillator. So this is all about the two types of oscillators. In the next lecture, we will study about one-port oscillator. Thank you.